My hunch is you're making $1 million in 2 years rather than 5.
Is that including the payouts to investors, or is that just the gross profits on the GP side?
That's not including the
Distributions.
investors. That's what makes ours a little bit more trickier, is that if it was fully our cash coming into the deal, it makes it a lot easier because, let's say we're taking that second mortgage and we're doing 50-50. So they have to go finance with a bank and they got to come finance with us for part of it. Depending on what amount they have to finance with the bank, how much of that will just be able to be paying off just the seller compared to also paying off our investors. Because, I would love to get our investors out of the woodwork faster than the 5% interest rate. That's a lot smaller. Get them out of there.
Yep.
But I think also, Seth, is that part of those costs, they don't show on our current because we're not projecting condoization. So we're not including some of those costs that it will take for us to actually be able to get that into the woodworks.
Which is like $50,000, give or take, right?
Yeah, it's not much. You've got legal, surveys, and reserve studies. Really, those are your big hard costs. I would make the parking lot nicer. I would try to power wash the front. I would do a little bit of lipstick and rouge. When you tell me you got 1% for reno, that's amazing, because we're often at 20 and 25 and 50%. We've got a deal that's 125% reno of the purchase price.
Yeah.
And I was doing the due diligence for the Florida regulations, all that. One of the big things that says it's normally a huge expense when it comes to the renovation side. I was like, well, that's not what we're going to have to deal with on this, because it comes as is. Everything's currently the way it is. The walls are there. You don't have to really worry about that. It's more or less the legal process. What is your experience with that? How long would you say it normally takes for you to get to that whole entire process, start to finish, since you know how quickly it is, excluding the renovation part?
Yeah, the renovation is a non-issue. The day we own it, it takes 5 months just to do exit relocation, resident relocation, right? We budget in 4 or 5 months just for that piece. You don't have this issue. You could condoize it and be done in 6 months and have a sellable asset in mere months.
You say that process could take 6 months. I'm just talking about legal side. I can understand having to talk with
legal paperwork of it is 25 days, 10 days. It depends how fast your attorney can do it. You've got a time for surveying. Florida is one of the biggest, fastest moving states in the country. So survey is going to take a while, right? Let's assume 2 months to get a calendar date for your survey, and then assume another month to turn that calendar date and actually get the survey back to you. Then another month to get to and back and forth to the attorneys. You're done. You're literally done with the entire condoization process in 6 months. And I think that's slow. And it depends on how fast you can sell. But in that same 6-month period, you're having conversations with the owners.
Right. Yeah, that's the next part.
You're getting them lined up with a SBA lender. You're creating your own terms. All of a sudden,
that's definitely one of the things that when I was looking a little bit more into it, that was it seems like it's going to take longer, but literally you can be working with the lessees while you're getting all the paperwork and stuff ready. So by the time it's hey, we can do it now, they should have all their banking ready for it, and we can just knock it out of the park right there. So have you ever dealt with wherever they don't, let's say not all of them do it? How do you approach that whenever you expect to be able to condoize it all and you don't get all of them out of there?
So that
and then just continue renting.
Yeah, that has happened to us. We were told we've got a commercial building. The bike shop was going to buy, told us several times they're going to buy, and then they backed out. And so the net is, in your situation, you only need one of those buyers, 2 of those buyers to actually buy, and that eliminates the debt on that building forever. So you've got cash flow from the other 3 bays coming in forever with 0 debt and 0 landlord responsibilities. So even in a marginally good case scenario, you get 2 of those people to buy and you don't have any debt. And so you've just got this cash flowing machine coming in ever and ever.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. The worst case scenario is still good.
Worst case scenario is that prepayment penalty. My gosh.
It's not that bad. A 3% prepayment on, let's say, 500, that's $15,000. It's not that big of a deal.
They want all their interest that they're going to make over 5 years paid up.
That's the bad part.
What the hell? Really?
I know. I do like banking loans, and our prepayment penalties are through the roof like that.
Wow.
Because we got like investment property specials right now, like 6.5%, and we charge prepayment penalties on that, but they de-escalate from 3 down to 1%, and that's not for like the whole entire 5 years. So
they want 100% of their interest paid at once.
Yep, all over what would have been over 5 years are accelerated at the exit.
I am currently trying to gather up some due diligence to bring to them to be like, hey, that's absurd. This is ridiculous. You don't see this anywhere else. That doesn't happen. You're mad that you agreed to this price. You're just wanting a way to make sure you're securing extra cash flow back in if we try to exit this deal at all.
And really, it's because they weren't wanting to sell at 1.1. They want to list at 1.4, which is retail. And they realistically said, all right, we'll do a seller finance at 1.2, but it had slipped already through their daughter or daughter-in-law. I don't really know the relation. That 1.1 was acceptable to them. That was their floor. And so they've been like, oh, you kind of got in and you knew that too soon. So, and then they're keeping the prepayment penalty for anyone else who's also doing it too. Like, this is their mindset of prepayment penalty. And again, like we're getting this thing at 5%. Operations cost our mortgage is like $3,250 a month. It's amazing. But the prepayment penalty is just raping us. That's all it is.
Well, okay, but have you figured out what the actual cost is? Because they're not.
I think you have that number.
187, I think, thousand or 157.
Yeah.
So with that essentially brings them up to the $1.2 million sale point, which would have been their floor.
Okay. No, that's even more.
Right.
But that's closer to 1.3.
But that's what the interest over the first year or two.
And is this a priced at 5%, or is this interest only at 5%?
Interest only.
Interest only at 5%. But they knew that the 1.4 price wasn't going to stand because of what their current leasing rates were. No one's going to buy an asset that you have people already having agreements on, and you buy this and it doesn't even cash flow with the tenants you have in it, and just cause a whole mess. And pretty much your first year is just out trying to get lawyers or whatever you need to just try to raise the rents in there. So 1.1 is honestly the best price you can get for that type of property at what it's currently leasing at. Because like you said, some of those people in there are getting great deals. Like it's just ridiculous.
Well, okay. So has the church said that they're going to stay? Have they given any indication?
I have not had the conversation directly with them. I'm not at that stage with a relationship where I can be like, let me go talk to the church pastor. But I don't see any reason why they would want to leave based on the growth and where they're at.
Yeah, but are they going to pay market rate? I mean, are they going to go from 24 to 4?
They're going to come up for sure. And this was the advice from the owner. He said, first thing you do is you go in there and you tell the church, like, their rates are going to raise because they've been getting a sweetheart deal. I was like, yeah, and the owner can say that all day long. He can say whatever he wants to sell the building. But I don't know if they're going to be able to have enough solvency to do the doubling. But they can at least get closer to market rate. We'll still have to give them a sweetheart deal of some kind.
Well,
they would definitely be one of the ones that would probably have to take more or less owner financing on the deal.
Yeah.
And at least, financing through my bank, as long as they make the debt service, like their NOI, they're good. We can go anything above a 1 for any religious organization. So I think that's pretty standard across the board as well, knowing how churches run. So I think it's more or less, they know they have a great deal right now. And once that lease is up, they know it's going to hurt their pocket. So I think it's more or less they're going to leave because they know we're going to have to jack up rates. But I mean, if you go look at the current market, anywhere you go, it's going to be higher you're currently getting at. So you either take our deal for the property and own it yourself, or have to go find somewhere else and have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a cost as well, because then you're having to put up more money on top of that instead of just re-signing with us.
Well, if the seller's not willing to play ball with it, they're going to charge $200,000 prepayment. Let's buy the building, wait 3 years, and then condoize it. Like, it doesn't, whether it happens today or happens 3 years from now, who knows? We might be in a better scenario for our economy.
Right. The entire reason for condoizing is to avoid those last 2-3 years of market volatility. But worst case scenario, we just ride it out.
Yeah. If it's cash flowing, and who knows, a year from now, the sellers might say, yeah, I'll take $50,000 above of, I mean, people get sick, people die, daughter-in-laws inherit properties. I mean, it's a sad world, but the fact is that you might make this deal now, and 4 days after we close, the daughter-in-law may take over the property, and she may want all her cash now.
Yeah.
So I would definitely move forward. To heck, if they're going to whine about the prepayment, if they're going to put their foot in the sand and not yield, okay, patience is a virtue. I'm going to be all churchy for a second. I thought that would get a rise out of you. But it's valuable, right? And it's probably more valuable in 3 years as a condo than it is right now.